I eat raccoon several times a year especially when I'm down in communities in the southeastern United States or in some of the mid-Atlantic states, West Virginia, Tennessee, et cetera. There's still people in pockets of America that hunt in the evening for their breakfast and lunch and hunt in the morning for their dinner. Um, Raccoon is absolutely delicious. It requires real cooking. It requires a certain wisdom that comes in field dressing it. But boy, oh boy, is it fantastic.
Is there a way to describe the taste? Like I know Xavier said it does not taste like chicken. It has its quote unquote own
Yes.
taste. Do
Yes.
you agree with him?
Well, 100%. I mean, you are what you eat, right? And that includes the animal kingdom as well, which is why when I'm eating squirrel, I make sure to do so at the end of the fall season when the squirrels have fattened up on beech nuts or acorns or other fatty nuts that are abundant in the trees or on the ground where they live, right? And they taste sweeter and more delicious at that time of year. The same thing with raccoons. Raccoons are probably they're not benign like a lot of reptiles. They do have a pronounced flavor. Rabbit is very mild in flavor. Obviously, chicken is mild flavored. I would say raccoon is nuttier. It's on the mild gamey side. But it's no more unique in its own taste than venison or squab or any of these sort of luxury game animals that we sort of have put up on a pedestal. I do think that there is a little bit of culinary elitism when it comes to not eating a broader diet. Um, I think that people frown on folks like myself who regularly eat those animals, which is why I was so happy to see what you know uh, Xavier had posted, because even my friends are like, "What are you doing eating that?" And I'm like, "Well, you're missing out. Not
Right.
only not only is it good for our planet, but I quite frankly, and I can cook chicken, pork, beef, lamb, and all the other traditional animals as many ways as anybody I know. Uh, however, it certainly makes my diet more interesting to include game, both farmed and wild, and what we typically refer to as critters these days. We have a lot of other things to worry about in this country. I
Very
say
much so.
let people eat what they're going to eat.
What is your recommendation on how to chef it up? Like, is there a certain way you have to cook it? Is it like
Yeah.
chicken? Like, how do you
Yeah,
cook it?
no, great question. And obviously there is a best practices way to cook anything, and then you can sort of get creative with it, right?
Right.
Once you learn how to roast a plain chicken, then you can do it 1,000 different ways and take it in 1,000 different other directions. With raccoon, it has to be skinned, the fat trimmed off, and it has raccoons have a whole series of small little nodules that can taint the meat that are located on its body, and you have to cut those off. They're extensions of a type of scent and sweat gland, right?
Right.
Um, so that's just a butchery uh, thing that one does in the field. Then I usually take the animal and I either braise it, cooking low and slow in liquid, or cover it in a pan with just a little bit of water and aromatics like carrots, celery, garlic, etc., and bake it in that moist environment. And I do so until it's cooked through but not coming off the bone. And then I cool it. And this is what I think makes it absolutely delicious. While you could eat it at that point, it's not at its best. But then I take that and I put it on a slow grill or indirect grill, and roast it for about an hour, low temperature, basting with your favorite sauce. That could be a mustardy vinaigrette. It could be a traditional barbecue sauce. It could be any one of a number of things. And just, let that sauce build up and caramelize on it. That methodology is the most typical, especially in the southeastern United States. Braise and then grill, and serve it up as a barbecue item. It's delicious.